I think we're live. Oh, people are chapping. Hello. What beer am I drinking? I'm drinking an Idaho Pale Ale from the City of Trees Brewing Company. Bonjour. Hello. What's up? Hi, guys. Good morning from Australia. That's awesome. Why do you hurt me like this? You never come over to paint with us? I'm confused. Was I invited to paint? Boom, 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 boom. I made emojis, guys. And they're really silly, as it is of my dog, my cat, and my face. Wow, 2 people from Australia. That's awesome. No, not game night. Game nights are Tuesdays and Sundays, but this Sunday is Easter, so we're not playing. So I just I was sitting here drinking a beer, and I'm like, I'm gonna go live and chat with some people because it's been a while since I've done that. So that's it. There's nothing really planned. We can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. So, oh, your game night, Steven. Okay. DJ Gonk says, do I play any other systems other than D&D? Yeah, if you have been following me on Twitter, I've been playing a lot of Dungeon Crawl Classics lately, and that's been lots of fun. So I've been running games, and we're kind of doing what's the word? We're doing like a quick-paced sessions of DCC, so we're going to play for like a month and a half. And every week the players level up so that rather than taking weeks to level up, they level up pretty quickly to kind of get a feel for the game overall, because we're not going to stick with it for a long time. We're going to go back to D&D once Saltmarsh comes out. So, but I also like Kids on Bikes, and I've played in Deadlands, and I want to play in other games because I like RPGs in general, and I want to get a feel for more RPGs. The latest one that I've been reading and wanting to play in is Tales from the Loop. Looks really fun. And I've been watching some Tales from the Loop streams lately. Thought that was kind of fun to get a feel for the game, because streams always help me with that. Good night from Brazil and aloha from Hawaii. That's cool. My wife has family in Hawaii, so I should probably visit. So, Fazul Chambril. Hello from Indianapolis. Indianapolis, I will be there for Gen Con. That's exciting. Always nice to see you guys as well. So, I like that I can... Oh, holy cow! Thank you. Thank you, Saffros. That's really awesome of you for the super chat. Try Shadow of the Demon Lord. I'm assuming that's an RPG that I need to do. So, let me write it down. I should write these down. Open a notepad right now. Ian Sharp, I didn't remember your name, but I totally remember you because you asked about the module for the live show. I have a question for you, Ian. How does that work, doing a D&D live show like that, a comedy live show? Because I've been thinking about trying to do something in my own town that is similar. Like, I have theater friends and I want to do like a live show like that. Y-Kid, I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. Thank you so much for the super chat. That's really awesome. I'm not trying to like fish for these, but you guys are really cool. So thank you. Every bit helps the channel. Do I think Critical Role is overrated? No, I think it is. It's more popular than I find it interesting, but I really overall, I like Critical Role, and I listen to Critical Role. I haven't finished season 1, but I am definitely attached to season 2, and I think I won't listen to season 1 because I just don't have the time to go back over. The episodes are so long with Critical Role. Like, a lot of RPG podcasts I listen to have an hour-long episode, and their episodes are like 3 to 4 hours long, and it's just a lot of time to catch up. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm curious because I want to do something like that, Ian. But I'm really glad that your comedy live show went great, and I hope the modules super helped you out. So that's awesome. That's really cool. Do you have any advice for someone who may have to bite the bullet and host their own group? My biggest worry is that I'll end up procrastinating and never actually finish anything. You're worried that you're going to be the DM DJ Gonk and that you're not going to, and you're going to procrastinate? I don't know. Try just a couple one shots. Be like, we're going to do a 2-session thing and see how it goes. And if you procrastinate that and you don't feel it, but yeah, I had to bite the bullet and be the DM because I knew that my party wasn't going to do it. My group of friends were not going to run games. And I knew if I wanted to be interested in this hobby, I was going to have to run games. Now, of course, there's like online stuff and I could probably play in a game every night of the week online if I wanted to. So, but yeah. Fazul looks like the lead singer from Metallica. He kind of does. Hey, Bored with Reality. How you doing? Adventures in Middle-earth RPG. Oh, so Jesse Minton, I have a confession that I played, I think it's called Rollmaster in college. That was my first dip into RPGs, and I didn't like it because it was really complicated, and I didn't know the lore of Middle-earth very well. But since then, I have read Lord of the Rings and the Silmarillion and the Hobbit and all that, and I really love it. So I think playing in an Middle-earth RPG would be a lot of fun. So, yeah, big fan watching you for a while and interested if you had looked into any of the new magic items in Artifacts of the Guild or might possibly do a video on them. I'm sorry, the Super Seth, I have not looked into any of the new magic items. Is Artifacts of the Guild something on the DM's Guild? If it is, maybe I could take a look. It'd be fun. Hello, Noah. Nice to see you. Where did you get your information on the creation of the Abyss? Carlos, a lot of that is from 4th edition lore, I think. And in every video, and I should say this, I think in every video I've put a reference in blah, 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 blah. In every video I've put a references section that has the books where I got the information for that video. So if you're ever really curious, there are links to PDFs on DriveThruRPG, and you can be like, oh, that's the book that Jordan got this information from. So a lot of that is from 4th edition, I think. 4th edition really changed up the whole origin story and stuff. They were trying to create a new something. And I think my earlier videos, I got a little confused with generic 4th edition lore versus specific Forgotten Realms lore. Something that I've been meaning to rectify and change in the future. So I might make an update video on like young Jordan didn't really know what he was talking about. And now older Jordan is like wiser and has a better understanding of stuff. So, yeah, Critical Role is a huge commitment. I can't say that I blame you. Yeah. My friends love it though. Like my Tuesday gaming group, all they can talk about is Critical Role, and I get it, but I don't get it to the level that they are obsessed with it. But yeah, I don't know. I do like Critical Role, and I'm very happy for their Kickstarter, and I'm excited for this animated series because even though I don't listen to season 1 very much, I know those characters, and it'll be fun to see them in a cool original story. So yeah. Do you like Adventure League adventures? And if so, what's your favorite one? When I played Adventure League Dungeon Master Zach, I only played in, what was it that we played in? Some Tales of the Yawning Portal stuff. So we didn't actually play in any of the specific modules that are written for Adventure League. But I've read a couple of them. I don't really have a favorite, but I should read more because they're really great for one-shots. And I was reading a ton of them when I was going to DM for Adventure League, but that kind of transitioned into Jordan was playing Tuesday nights with his other group, and then Thursday nights I had rehearsal for a play I was in, and I haven't been back to Adventure League since. But now that I am done with that play, and it is, hey, it's Thursday tonight, I should have gone to Adventure League, but instead I'm here with you guys. But yeah, I should have done that. So, but I want to read more, and I want to DM for Adventures League eventually, go back. So, we simplified character sheets. I totally do with a spell slot, do away with spell slots and just pick a few spells and give them charges. Oh, okay. Just to keep the flow. Cause the only thing Ian Sharp I can imagine, like really just, hey, everybody roll initiative, and getting initiative and counting up hit points as being like really not interesting to watch. Although when I listen to podcasts, like I find the hit points and the tactics they're using interesting, but like I imagine for a live stage show, but I don't know. And there's got to be drinking involved. I got to figure that out. But that's really cool. If you have a video of it, I'd love to watch it. I don't know if you guys do video or audio of your live shows, but that would be really cool. Druid or cleric, says Hunter Hendry. That is a tough question. I have an arcane cleric I really want to play, and I have a spore druid I really want to play. So I'm going to have to go cleric. I think that's the one I want to play. So, Zagutmoy video when, says Scortich 2000. I don't know. Wasn't planning on a Zagutmoy video, but maybe I need to make individual videos for all of the demon lords. That could be fun. So I'll add that to my list. Individual videos for demon lords, if I can find enough information on them. That's always things. Thoughts on the Game of Thrones premiere? I can't watch it yet. It's sitting on it's sitting on HBO, and we can't watch it yet because my wife is busy, and when she comes home, she's too tired to sit through an hour of television, and so we haven't watched it yet. I'm hoping this Saturday we will watch last Sunday's premiere, and then I'll be a week behind from then, but I do love Game of Thrones. So Artifacts of the Guild is pretty good for a vast random table. I do like random tables. What's my Twitter? I didn't say before. My Twitter is at Jordan with a PH in the middle. So you can find there JORPHDAN, James. And I just generally rant about my life and games and things there. Yeah. You'll be GMing for the group, 2 people that are interested, but most likely have to teach them. And since the game isn't D&D, most game shots near me don't have any leads. Yeah, I'm not sure. Adventures in Middle-earth is great, but for its backgrounds, those are great with some classes, but you didn't really like Tolkien's world that much. Well, sorry, Bored with Reality. I like a lot of magic. So Tolkien is not good for people who want to be wizards, but it's a really good world. I love the Silmarillion a lot. I love the history of it. So, yeah. I'm going to scroll down. Spore Druids or BA. Yeah, they're not good, I will be honest, but I love them. I want to play a Tortle Spore Druid that has a shell covered in mushrooms and is just disgustingly awesome. So I told myself if Chris Perkins ever invites me to Dice Camera Action, that's what I'm going to play, is Nordle the Tortle Spore Druid. Because I just think it would be a lot of fun. You don't have much, but you're doing one in May and getting good video of that. Yeah. So yeah, hit me up, on jordan@gmail.com with a PH in the middle. Or talk to me on Twitter, because I'd love to watch it, Ian. That'd be really cool. I want to get a feeling for how to do it, because I want to do that in my hometown. I think it'd be really fun. How do you usually start a campaign? Because I'm going to start one soon and have a plot, but I don't know how to start it properly. Hooks are difficult. I would ask your players too. Hooks are difficult. Sometimes I talk with my players and I'm kind of like, you guys need to be here. How can we get you there? Or there's always like, I mean, I know it's generic, but like meet in a tavern, or you're all arrested together and you have to like break out of prison together. Like your party generically wants to be together and help each other. You just have to provide that little nudge. So it could be really cheesy and just kind of get the ball rolling. But if you want something interesting, or if you're looking for something more interesting, like work with your players and say like, what help me build the world, I guess. What in your backstory is causing you to be here? So, in my games, an iron golem was ordered to follow what was transported to a different realm. Would the golem try to the best of his ability to get there, get out of that realm to get back? I don't know. That's how he was programmed, I guess. Jesse Torres, can I fly yet? Yes. But only a couple inches off the ground, so don't go crazy. Does 5e have a paladin of Asmodeus? You could be a paladin of Asmodeus, because Asmodeus is a deity, so technically you could be a paladin of that, and have... it's all flavor with the gods, however you want to flavor it, so... Merge the Abyss from Pathfinder and D&D so you get more demons and more lore and can tinker with. Congrats on bringing back the hay. Love your videos, man. Really useful. Please keep up the great work. Thank you. That's awesome, guys. It's funny when I release, like Wednesday's video wasn't a lore video and it was kind of an update video. I lose so many subscribers when I do that. Like people see that and they're just like, oh, it wasn't a lore video, unsubscribe. So it's good to hear that you guys like the videos because it's just kind of weird to me that my subscriber count will just dip like down to the negatives for a day. And then it goes back to normal. So it's not like a huge deal, but it boggles my mind. So it's good to hear that you guys are enjoying the content. You are officially my 4th follow and the only one who isn't an artist I employ. That's awesome. Is Sigil good in 5th edition? Sigil is not in 5th edition other than through things like Dice Camera Action and stuff like that, but they're using older Planescape stuff. So the Planescape stuff still holds up, so you can use that in 5th edition. Actually, it probably is in the the Dungeon Master's Guide. It's been a while since I've read it, so, but Sigil is really cool, so. Yeah, we got people networking here. This is fun. Arc Revenant, I am drinking, and the green screen is going to mess this up, but it's a City of Trees, Idaho Pale Ale. I just went to the gas station. I enjoy it. It's a local beer that I like. So I'm not a fan of IPAs. I don't like super hoppy beers. So I usually tend to pale ales, but I like porters. So yeah. Sorry if this is a dumb question, but would you consider Galorian lore? I don't know what Galorian lore is, Riker. Could you, yeah. Hey, Jordan, love your videos. Keep the great job inspiring others to play D&D. Huzzah! I've got a fun, and I'll share this with you guys. I've got an idea that I've been kicking around, but I'm waiting for other YouTubers to respond back to me. But I want to do a D&D quiz show and like quiz YouTubers about Dungeons and Dragons, about 5th edition rules, and see how good they are. And the idea is that we're all bad at the rules, but we just make it up as we go. And to encourage players to be like, see, even these people don't know the rules that well. But the problem is getting all of these guys coordinated, guys and gals coordinated. But yeah. So I've stayed with you despite the unboxing cat videos. Yeah, thank you. Sorry that there were no unboxings of cats or cat unboxing videos. Poor Felix, his stardom. Oh, Galorian is Pathfinder. See, I don't know anything about Pathfinder. I've skimmed the core rulebook, but other than that, I don't know much about Pathfinder at all. And I've had people request that I do Pathfinder lore, and that might be something to do way down the line, but I don't know. Like, it just feels like I should stick with a lot of the D&D lore with the popularity of Dungeons and Dragons right now. Sorry, hiccup. Yeah, no, the D&D quiz show is going to be a lot of fun, Dan. I have like 4 people recorded, and I think I need another 4, but 3 of them are being difficult to get a hold of because they are busy, not because they are just like mean, but they are just busy people. But once I have all of them, then I have to edit it together. It's probably going to be a month or so before I get it out, but it's something. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm excited. Oh yeah, AJ Pickett and other YouTubers do a one shot. That would be fun. I've been wanting to do something with AJ for a while, like to do some kind of a, we had something that we were thinking about doing and then it just kind of didn't happen, but I've been wanting to collaborate with him in some fashion. It just hasn't happened yet. He's also in New Zealand, so there's like a huge time change there, but he's really like awesome. I love AJ. I like his videos. I think he always says that like we're companion channels to each other, and I think that's really fun because we both kind of started around the same time doing stuff. So that was awesome. Stephen McKnight, holy cow, thank you. That is awesome. Paladin of Mask, weird or fun? Or is it just another Everest Kale? I think Paladin of Mask would be really cool, especially if you could do some like feats that give you extra skills into lockpicking and things like that. I think I like weird, unique characters like that. So that's really awesome. Thank you for the super chat. That's really nice of you. Any idea I have is where players are forced to work for the big bad for a majority of the campaign, but hold their families or friends' lives as collateral, maybe? I don't know. That could work, Carlos. There is no Trivia 5e D&D videos that I know of. I couldn't find a lot either, so I'm hoping that so don't tell anybody and don't steal my idea because I'm still working on it. But yeah. Love your videos, man. You are the first person I ever subscribed to. No way, Zach. That's awesome. Dungeon Master Zach. That's really cool. Yeah, YouTube's fun like that. So that's really cool. My dog wants to go outside, but we're going to ignore him for just a little bit because he's fine. AJ said as much, so I need to do it. Yeah. Jordan belongs to be at the Descent from Wizards of Coast. We need more of these channels being part of the... Yeah, that would be really cool. I was excited that some of my friends got to go, like WebDM and... Nerd Immersion and the Venture Maidens, and so there's a lot of people that I am both fans of and friends with that are going. So my invite must have got lost in the mail, but no, I'm not too upset about it. There will be other chances to do cool D&D stuff, and I'm sure Wizards of the Coast wants to invite everybody they can, but there is a limited amount of invites that they can do. So yeah, maybe next year we'll see. Why is the PH silent? That's a really long story that I've answered in other videos. Maybe I'll tell it later. How would you convert elves of World of Warcraft into D&D elves? Hey, what are you barking at? We're live streaming. There's no barking. Yeah. World of Warcraft elves. I don't know. They're so similar that, well, they're not that similar, but elves and night elves could be as easy as elves and drow or elves and moon elves. I don't know. I was a Final Fantasy XI player during the MMO era, not a World of Warcraft player, so I don't know the lore that well, except I was curious about it, so I watched a lot of videos on World of Warcraft lore, but the night elves and the blood elves, it eludes me right now as to how I could make them, what needs to be changed to make them have that World of Warcraft feel in Dungeons and Dragons. So I don't know. Scott McClay, I assume it's a play on the PhD. No, don't have a PhD. I'm not that smart. I played a game with a level 10 wizard and I was a level 4 cleric. That's quite the difference. I never liked Fireball since then. But maybe things will be better next time. Hail the Mighty Glue Stick, yes. What edition did I start playing with? My very first role-playing experience was with Rollmaster, a Middle-earth role-playing game back in college, and I didn't like it because I didn't really understand things. And then after that, I played AD&D 2nd Edition with some friends. That game lasted literally 3 sessions, and then we collapsed because people just couldn't play anymore. So I said, oh, well, why don't we just play the latest version of D&D and I'll be a dungeon master? So we got all the 4th edition stuff, and I ended up running a year-long campaign in 4th edition. And then in the middle of that, 5th edition came out, and so when the campaign ended, we switched over to 5th edition. So those, I basically skipped 3rd edition. I never played 3rd edition. But I hear very good things about 3rd edition, and I think it's like my goal to go back and play all of them. I want to play like basic D&D and original D&D, and I'd like to play 3rd edition as well. So even if it's just like a one-shot, would be kind of fun to get a feel for how things are different. So yeah, MERP is great. I didn't appreciate it at the time, but since then, like I said, I've read The Silmarillion and Lord of the Rings and all of those books. Now I think I would have a lot of fun with Middle-earth role-playing game. So, any D&D podcast recommendations? If you're looking for talking about D&D, I would recommend Total Party Thrill. I really like them. I met them at Gen Con, and I listened to their podcast today because I really like it. I don't know. Let me look at my phone. What podcast am I listening to right now? I listen to The Adventure Zone. I listen to a great podcast called Kids on Bikes, which they're playing Kids on Bikes. It's called Kids on Bikes Podcast. Critical Role. Board with Life Radio, I really enjoy. Those guys make some really good stuff. The Dragon Friends are really funny. I listen to a DCC podcast called Spellburn, which is about Dungeon Crawl Classics. They don't make new episodes, but Roll Up and Die was another one with Matt Click and Michael Barker from YouTube, and they did a podcast together called Roll Up and Die that they aren't doing new episodes, but the back catalog is still there, and I enjoy that. As far as like live plays, like The Adventure Zone, Dragon Friends, Critical Role, Board with Life, Adventures, those are good. Yeah. Can we get a pupper cam? Maybe. Hey, Oscar! Come here, buddy. The public wants you. Come here. Oh, he is a Corgi Cairn Terrier mix named Oscar. So he's got stubby little arms. But he's a happy puppy. Yeah, aren't you? You're a happy dog. Okay, bye. Oh. That's my dog. He's the cutest. Who is the best DM you have ever played with, and who also hosts the Saturday morning D&D show that everyone should be... Lucian. That was from you. The best DM I've ever played with, his name is Sir Lucian. He's just amazing, and he also hosts the Saturday morning D&D show that everyone should be watching. So, also podcast recommendations. I'm on a podcast called the Saturday Morning D&D Show. So if you're interested in that, we talk about all kinds of games with my co-host Lucian, who's hanging out here. So you should come watch us on Saturdays at 9 a.m. Pacific on Twitch and on YouTube, but on the Saturday Morning D&D Show channel. So, yeah. Long live Thaco. Thaco confused me so much, but I played a gnome wizard, and I had the most fun with that 2nd edition game. It was great. If you had to put together an adventuring party with only 3 classes, what would they be? Probably fighter, cleric, and then some kind of mage. Like, that's kind of what you want. You want like a front line, a back line, and a healer. Probably something like that. You're jumping from 2nd to 5e. Well, do it up. Sounds good. Yeah, Philip, I am from Idaho. And yes, I am in the Boise area, the greater Boise area. Don't come stalking me. But I'm in Idaho. Would you like an Adventure Time themed campaign setting? I would be curious to read that. I haven't watched all of Adventure Time, but I think that could be really fun. So Yeah, Kids on Bikes, woo, says Ark. I've ran one Kids on Bikes game and listened to a couple of live streams of it and read the book numerous times because I had to like run it and I've never seen it. And so, but I really like Kids on Bikes. I need to run that. And that's my dog. Yeah, he is the handsomest of boys. He's so coarse. His fur is super coarse. But the cat is super soft. So we say that we just trade off between the dog and the cat. You're doing a pre-Vampire Strahd campaign. The players meet him as a really awesome warlord, part of the monarchy of the Elderbrain Spelljammer crash lands on the planet and corrupts Strahd. I see, Bromus, this is why I love D&D, because people come up with stuff like that. Like that sounds great, and it sounds like fun, and I would love to play in that game kind of a thing, and so go, more power to you. Like, that is awesome, so... Of all my Forgotten Realms research, was there any specific trivia or information that especially surprised me, says Gray Johnson. Yes, actually, Spelljammer, and how there are places in Baldur's Gate and Waterdeep where you can land your spaceship, your Spelljammer ship. And there are people there that know about spelljamming, and they know that there are other worlds and crystal spheres and all this other stuff. And that really surprised me, I guess, because you just keep thinking like super medieval Forgotten Realms, but there's a level of technology there that that people know about, spelljamming, and they know about how the universe works. So that surprised me. So the only reason I was asking for the follow back is I wanted to send you an RPG that I have been developing for a few years, and I know how much you are into art by your lore videos, and I have half. I forget what you were asking, James, but it's been all on art, so I thought I would show you some behind the scenes stuff. Oh, okay. Yeah. Are you looking for a follow on Twitter? I missed what you were saying, so. But yeah. Let me know. I'd love to check it out. I used to play Magic the Gathering in college, but I haven't played it since college. It just got too expensive to play Magic the Gathering. I've never played Warhammer, but it seems fun. So it's a bit far to stalk me, but I imagine you could swim past all the sharks. Yeah, James, if you're interested, I can put in my P.O. box in the comments here. And you can mail me whatever, or if you're looking to email something, it's Jordan with a PH at gmail.com. So, dude, you've done so much work for Faerun. I want you to have an interview with Ed Greenwood. That would be cool. That would be fun to do something, with Ed. He is just really cool. He developed such a cool world that we all get to play in. So. Any advice for a noob DM of 5e? Josh, have fun and don't sweat the rules. Like I'm running Dungeon Crawl Classics now, and we played a whole game where I very incorrectly ruled some things. And I went back and I read it during the week, and then the next following session I apologized. Everybody laughed, and we went with the new rulings that made the game a lot more fun. And I think back to when I first started 4th edition and 5th edition, it was the same way. I'd make a ruling and I'm like, yeah, I feel like it should work like this. And then you look it up later and you're like, that does not work like that. And you laugh it off and you keep moving. Like nobody really cares. Unless maybe their character died. And then you can be like, by the way, your character's back alive because you should have gotten 3 death saves rather than just 1, something like that. But, yeah, you just laugh it off and have a good time and like research the rules whenever you want and just have fun. Make a cool story. Play some D&D. Perhaps you've covered it on the show, but where and how did you and Sir Lucian meet? Sir Lucian and I, we met online. Yes. So Lucian is answering this right now. He wanted to do a one-shot, and so we did a one-shot, and then he's like, you know what? I really want to do a talk show. And I was kind of like, I wanted to do more, but I didn't know what to do. And Lucian talked me into this talk show, and we've been doing it for a year and a half now, and it's like loads of fun. So, yeah, he just was like, I want to do a talk show, and I want you to be in it. And I was like, that sounds great. And we had like similar synergy, and we just kind of meshed well. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. or it has been a lot of fun, and it will continue to be fun. Where are my cat unboxing videos? I'm sorry, 4Elemental. I'm sorry. Ed is really easy to get a hold on Twitter. He's really nice. I should send him a message. Just be like, Ed, I love your world. Thank you. You play a lot of Adventure League, and the faction videos are great. Well, that's cool, Hallhawk. I'm glad. I specifically made those when I was at Adventure League, and I was like, I should make these videos because nobody knows what it means to be a Harper. So I like that. You've been following since me. I had 7K followers. Oh, that's so cool. Fellow Idahoan. Yay. All right, Philip. That's awesome. Coke or Pepsi? I am a Coke person. My wife is a Pepsi girl. Magic the Gathering and Warhammer are wallet cancer. Yeah. No, I quickly learned as a poor college student that I'm just like, I can't afford this. And if I want to get the cards to be able to do, no. And so we would buy like boosters together and then draft decks from the boosters. I think they're called drafts. I don't know Magic the Gathering very well, but we would do that, and we would totally play that way, and that was a lot of fun. But to actually like build a collection, I was like, this is just not going to happen. I am just too poor. What is my favorite Realms novel? There's a really good set by Keith Baker called The Last Mythal. It's the closest I think you can get to a Lord of the Rings style, and it's wrapped. I'm going to write that down. The Last Mythal. Because we need another book for the Forgotten Realms book club that is happening at the end of this month, and I have not a lot of time to read that book, and I'm only like a third of the way through it. I need to like really crank and read a bunch. But we're going to do that at the end of the month, which I'm excited for. We'll do another live stream where we just talk about the book that we read. We're reading Shadowdale. My favorite Forgotten Realms novel, I think it's going to have to be Archmage. Was the last Drizzt novel that I read. Drizzt novel. And that one really stuck with me for some reason, and I really enjoyed it. Although I'm like halfway through Timeless now, and I like that one too. But I had to stop reading Timeless to read Shadowdale because that's for the book club. Actually, I will say this. The War of the Spider Queen series was so good, and I loved those characters so much, and I had a blast reading through that. I couldn't put it down. So I probably will say War of the Spider Queen. Really like that one. Sorry, man, things are going fast. I'm missing stuff. Ever given any thoughts to a giveaway contest where you DM for a few of her followers? No, Jason, but that's a great idea. Maybe I should do something like that. I've been thinking about doing a game for some patrons and kind of maybe have a lottery for patrons, but for followers too, that could be good. Maybe we can figure something out. That could be a lot of fun, actually. Questing Beast, Ben, how are you doing? Welcome, and thank you for hanging out. You have a bunch of 10-year-olds who are making up rules for their own dungeons. Anyone can do it. Yes, 100%. You just make it up. And I know that's like intimidating, and I'm kind of a rules guy too, where you're like, but you can't just make it up. But that's the secret, is you really can just make it up. And reading a lot of these older games, especially the Nameless, the Nightmares Underneath and DCC, like it really encourages you to just play, do a dungeon crawl, but play through improvisation. Sorry. One of the things I loved about The Dark of Hot Springs Island when I ran that for the last 8 or 9 months is I had to do zero prep work. I would sit down at the table, I would roll some dice, and I would be like, oh, you guys are going here. There is a couple of monsters here, and there's this thing. And I would have to I wouldn't even prep, and I could just sit down and play. And it was so wonderful to just be like, oh, let's play some D&D. And I would literally roll some dice. I would take 2 minutes to read something, and then we would be off and running a game. It was so much fun. So, Yeah, check out Ben's channel for sure. Ben, I liked your latest video. I always get really great ideas when you release those reviews and stuff. It's really awesome. So, how do you prefer your Coke? Can, bottle, cup, or glass bottle? I prefer a bottle of Coke. Not necessarily a glass bottle, but just a bottle. So, my first super chat. Thanks, James. The last mythal. Thank you. I will put it down, Jason, and I will, that'll be on my list to read. Yeah, Timeless so far is really good. I'm enjoying Timeless. And I'm really frustrated that I started this Forgotten Realms book club and I can't read Timeless because we are reading Shadowdale and I have to read that. And that's literally what I'm going to do after this. I'm going to probably finish my beer and the stream, and then I'm going to go read for like 2 hours because I'm so behind and I got to get that book read before we have our video. So yeah. Yeah, War of the Spider Queen. My player Nathan in my Hot Springs game, well, now my DCC game, I got him that book for Christmas because he likes to read. And he was just like, where did this book even come from? And I'm like, I know, right? And yeah, he was super. It's such a good book. If you were offered to help with the D&D 6e rules, what would you change? It's a good question. I don't want to say 5e is perfect. I think I would do more with... I probably would do more with hit dice. Figure out a better mechanic of hit dice. Because I like it, but it also... I wish there was... Maybe it's my 4th edition ways, but like I wish there was a way to use hit dice during combat as a way to like, I want to take my action to like bandage myself up and get 1d8 healed. And Second Wind is kind of like that with fighters. But if you didn't want to play a healer, you didn't have to play a healer. Like you could have a group of people without healers, and you can already kind of do that with healing potions. So maybe it's moot and maybe you don't need that. But I don't know. I haven't designed any games. I've read a lot of games, but like there's nothing with 5th edition D&D that I'm like, I wish it was more like something else. Like I like the way 5th edition is, and I don't know. We're going to have a 6th edition at some point, but I don't see it happening for quite a while because 5th edition just keeps selling well. So yeah. You keep getting nightmares of Matthew Mercer. Help, please. I don't know. Just look at a big picture of Barbara Bush before you go to bed. That should help. One of the areas beyond the Sword Coast, what area of Faerun would you like to see fleshed out in 5e besides the Sea of Fallen Stars? Lantan. I would like Lantan to be a full like book that I can peruse through, the cities, the gnomes, the tinkering, the inventions, all that stuff. Lantan would be the place I would want fleshed out most. I think that would be really cool. What is the best character you've ever made or heard of? So I like themed characters. So I don't really like, oh, this is super powerful or this powerful build or whatever. Like I like characters that are themed. And so when I choose a wizard, I usually choose spells that fit whatever theme I'm thinking of. Like if it's transmutation wizard, I'm like, well, I'm going to choose these transmutation spells and polymorph. And he has a backstory where he like thought he was a squirrel once in a dream. So he polymorphs into a squirrel a bunch, like stuff like that. So I don't know. And I've made a lot of NPCs, but like, I don't know. I'll do the first one that comes to mind. So the first one that comes to mind is I made a dwarf druid that was a druid of the ocean, of the sea, of the coast. And he was trying to mine the ocean floor. And I really liked him. And I was like, this is a character I would play because it's weird, but it's unique. And then you can pick all of these themed spells and abilities that work both towards being a dwarf, but also towards being a druid. So yeah, I like that a lot. Can or glass man, come on. I'm a plastic bottle guy, I guess, with my Cokes. I'm sorry. A mushroom monk with a mushroom cap for a straw hat. Okay. Whoa, and then I jump. I always scroll down and everything jumps. What beer are you drinking? Again, I am drinking a Idaho Pale Ale that the green screen gets rid of. It's actually a green can. I'm enjoying it. I'm almost done though. And then I need to get either another beer or I need to get, or I need to end the stream. That's just what happens. Or whatever. Did you send me an email, James? Yes, you did. I will check it out later. Thank you. Have you ever done anything with large-scale warfare? It must be hard because there's no rules for it. Dungeon Master Zach, I did 2 large-scale things. I did one where a horde of zombies were attacking my players, and basically every zombie was 1 hit point. And so it was kind of like big spells and turn undead, things like that did a lot of damage. But the monk who went in there and the fighter went in there where they can hit 3 things. Yeah, they took out 3, but there's like 30 that are still around them. So I did that kind of a mass scale fight, which was a lot of fun. And then the last one I did is I created... It literally was my players being generals and marching an army against another army. And I did a modified version of just making stronger, like if there were 200 people in the army, then you had 200 hit points for that squadron. And then when the squadron got to 100 hit points, you would roll morale checks to see if it would like scatter or stay. And it worked out. It wasn't perfect. It worked out. But if you're interested in that, I think Strongholds and Followers has some really good rules for it. I just was not patient enough to fully digest them before I had to run this mass combat. So I made it my own stuff. So, yeah. Philippe Katsrup. Do you play other RPGs than D&D? Yeah, I'm currently playing Dungeon Crawl Classics. If you go to my Patreon page, you can listen to our very first session for free. We played through a module called Hole in the Sky. So it's a lot of fun. Have you ever experimented with other dice mechanics such as Genesis? No, I haven't. Blast Sector, but I think 5e could use a usability update, organize the information better, put things on a 2-page spreads, etc. There is like, what is the user interface of the book? I've heard of Chris Perkins talking about that, and maybe that's what they need to do is like reevaluate their book user interface and usability of the information and create and then maybe, well, not a 5.5, but maybe that's what they need to do. But would you be upset that you had to rebuy the books? Like, I might be frustrated that they do a 5.5 and they update all these little things and now I have to rebuy books. But at the same time, am I? I don't know. I like buying books. So, Lantan is the far east one. No, Lantan is an island to the west. And it's full of gnome tinkerers. And they have harnessed smoke powder, basically gunpowder. And they use gunpowder and stuff. So Lantan is there. Yeah, it's one word, I think. Sir Lucian, yes. I was actually thinking today on my walk about Al-Qadim and how I should just devote like 2 months to Al-Qadim and make a bunch of videos on that because I love that setting a lot. There isn't a ton of information on Mazteca. It would be more difficult. That might be like one video, maybe 2. But Al-Qadim for sure. Dwarf Mr. Burns trying to sweep the seas clean. How did your Tomb of Horrors module end? My Tomb of Horrors module ended with my players trapping a Serax skull, Demi-Lich skull, in a magic circle, and they ran out of the area, and they got away from him. It was really a cool ending. I say that it sounds anticlimactic, but it was really like down to the wire, and they pulled off some really cool stuff. Later on, we found out that they couldn't actually do the things that they did because of concentration and various other things with spells, but it was epic and fun, and we had a good time. So one thing I really miss is that 5th edition doesn't have is feats. I like the customization of feats. I sometimes wish that you could get a feat without the losing the ASI, because the ability score improvement is just so necessary sometimes. Especially if you don't roll for your stats and you just come out really high on stats. So sacrificing that to get a feat, it feels like fighters are really the only ones, because they get more ASI upgrades than other classes, that they're the ones that can get feats. But there's always the variant human get a feat at the beginning, which can help customize your characters. So yeah. Thoughts on the Artificer builds? Maybe when the Artificer is out, we'll talk about it. But right now, when it's still, like, I don't really do videos on Unearthed Arcana stuff, but if it comes out, I would like to. We were talking at my table that the Artificer, like, my players believe that they're going to bundle it in the Eberron PDF, the Wayfinder's Guide to Eberron, and then release Wayfinder's Guide to Eberron as a book. And I was like, maybe. Yeah, I played, Questing Beast says, groups that are really into customizing their characters should take a look at Pathfinder 2nd edition. And that's true. It's very customizable from what I've read of the playtest, which I think they're going to, its playtest has been going on for a year. So probably this Gen Con, they're going to announce that Pathfinder is out and you can buy 2nd edition. And maybe that's something I'll pick up and try Pathfinder, since, I mean, so many people love it. So I just got on this Dungeons and Dragons train. I, like many people, was like Dungeons and Dragons was RPGs, and they were kind of synonymous. And it wasn't until playing a lot of D&D that I realized there's lots of other RPGs out there that do not necessarily better, but like different and more interesting sometimes. And I think when you play a certain system for long enough, you hunger for other systems. So I have not done any lore on halfling deities, Chris. Sorry. But I want to do videos on, again, it's just, yeah, videos on non-human deities at some point. So I should find a Patreon alternative, like a direct PayPal and such, because it's a lot of people are avoiding it like me. Well, I do have just a PayPal. I think it's PayPal/Jordan. And so you can donate there. And I have had people donate in the past. But if you don't like Patreon, I would suggest becoming a member, hitting the join button here on YouTube. And for $5 a month, you can join. You get cool emojis for when I do live streams like this. And when you leave comments, not emojis, but badges. And your name will have a badge next to it. That's a way of supporting the channel. That's through YouTube. And I'm very, I'll say it, I'm very blessed to have that, because not a lot of channels get that join button. And it's nice to have if you want to support the channel. You can become a member. Gray Johnson, how did you get into theater? Is there a particular character in a stage performance that you'd love to play? I was always an outgoing kid. I was making radio shows and stuff when I was a kid with like cassette tapes. And so theater was like the next logical step, was just kind of to do theater. And I've always loved the act of storytelling, and I loved being part of stories. And so I just liked theater. And when I went to college, I was a computer science major for a semester and a half. And then I was like, I just can't handle this. And not that I was bad at it, but I just didn't like that I was in not that computer science is uncreative, but I felt really uncreative, and I just didn't like where I was at, and I didn't like the direction my life was going. So I dropped out of being a computer science major, and I walked across the street to the theater department and said, I want to be a theater major. And they were like, hooray. And so I signed up and I was a theater major. In hindsight, I wish I would have double majored so that I would have something to fall back on. But at the time, I was just a stubborn kid. A role that I've always wanted to play that I will never be able to play is Puck from Midsummer Night's Dream. I'm too old and I'm too large. I'm 6 foot tall and I'll just never be Puck. But that is a character that I love and would love to play. So, do you have some tips on one-shots? Don't sweat the small stuff and just play a one-shot. Have fun. Make sure it lasts like 2 to 3 hours. If it goes longer, turn it into a 2-shot. I was happy to support you with Super Chat and such, but I dislike Patreon. And James, that's fine. Patreon is just kind of the norm for this community. Like, I could do Ko-fi and stuff, but I've already established myself on Patreon. But if you don't want to support Patreon because of that, that's fine. That is completely okay. So, take care, Lucian. Have a good night. And yeah, come hang out with us on the Saturday morning D&D show. Have you thought of doing videos about specific monsters in Faerun? I did the Christmas stuff. I did specific monsters, and I've been thinking I should revisit that. I haven't put a lot of thought into it, Arc Revenant, but yeah. So that is something I am thinking about doing. Just need to make sure you know behind the scenes stuff isn't 100% finished. I completely understand. I started playing. I only started playing in November, and I want to thank you. You made things much easier on me and got me immersed. Thank you so much. Well, Krista, you are welcome. Thank you so much for being an awesome viewer, and I'm glad that I could help. Yeah, that's really awesome. What type of DM are you? I am a obstinate DM. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. Sorry. See you on the Saturday show, Bromus. Take care. Good night. What is coffee? Oh, Ko-fi. Sorry. Kofi, I think. Ko-fi. Let me see if I can find it. I don't have a Ko-fi. But it's another, yeah, I'll put it in here, Ko-fi.com. It's another, you can buy me a Ko-fi and you can buy me a coffee basically. Yeah, Gopher 2012. I see it on Twitter a lot, not so much on YouTube. YouTube people usually have Patreons, but, it's literally the same thing. Like, you can fund stuff. Do I drink coffee? I drink a lot of coffee. Like Sundays when I edit videos, I wake up at 7, I feed the cat and the dogs, and then I make a pot of coffee and I proceed to drink that pot of coffee over the course of like 3 hours. 3 or 4 hours, but I drink an entire pot of coffee because my wife doesn't drink coffee. So, Stu says, thoughts on Kara-Tur videos? Yes, I have thoughts on them. I want to do Al-Qadim first and possibly Mezteca, but there's lore there and it would be interesting and it's in the Forgotten Realms, and so I need to cover it at some point. Yes, like, it's funny, in my Wednesday video, I was like, I feel like I touched on most of the realms, and I feel like I have touched on most of what I wanted to touch on the realms, but you guys are making very strong points. There is more to talk about, and I should do that. So, yeah. What race do I most play, and what is your favorite race? I really like dwarves. I think the race that I don't play a lot. I'm a Warforged Eldritch Knight right now, which is fun. But I I really like dwarves, and I've been trying to make a dwarf transmuter wizard in a game. I really want to play a dwarf transmuter wizard, but like I said earlier, I like stuff that is themed. So if the race doesn't fit in that theme, I don't automatically go to dwarf. I would be like I just played a one shot with Celeste Konowich from the Venture Maidens on Nerd Immersion's channel. We played Mistress of Modules. We played in her Mistress of Modules show, and being an Eladrin Fey Warlock was the most theme I could get. I was like, I want to be a Fey Warlock. If I'm an elf, no, I need to be an Eladrin. So it's all kind of like, it all mixes together when I make a theme. So I don't specifically, but if I had to pick, I really like dwarves. I just think they're interesting and fun. So we also just want you to keep making videos. Weird. It's almost like we enjoy them. I know, Jason. That's so odd. I'm happy you guys enjoy them. So, why do messages keep getting redacted? I think it has something to do with people using. I don't know what settings I have set, but it might be language. Or it might be that they're trying to type too many things at once, or maybe it's like an address or something. I'm not really sure. I can't see the redacted messages, so. I think if you try to type too quickly, it stops, but I could be wrong. We got 43 people. That's crazy. What about the abyss? The water flows down into the abyss, and do they come back to the surface by springs, vents, trenches, lakes, and deep sea holes? Is it how they return to the surface? The abyss as in the plane of demons? The water flows down into the abyss. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Nafatali. Or is the PH silent? Natali. People need to know who the show are. Yeah, no, it would be good. Arc Revenant, and it's something I should do. I should make those things. They said the naughty words. Yeah. I don't know if we are effing allowed to swear. I personally am fine with people swearing, but, apparently YouTube is not, and Jordan did not take the time. I'm like looking at my stream options now. Oh, and it shows me the super chats down here at the bottom. That's cool. Thank you guys again. That's really nice of you. Yeah, I don't know about the chat. Toggle timestamps, participants, manage moderators. I don't have any moderators. I don't know. All right, folks. I finished my beer. Nefertali, great. I think we've been going an hour. I think I'm going to end. I'll answer a couple more questions, and then I'll wrap it up. So more beer just in time for Critical Role. Oh, yeah, you guys got to watch Critical Role. So I'll get out of here. What is the strangest magic item you've obtained? The Wand of Wonders. And it's amazing. And it has changed my entire campaign, and I love that magic item so much. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children and mice, hamsters of all ages, you guys rock. Thank you for cheering me up. I was kind of in a funk, and I'm glad I did this. So this was a lot of fun, and stay amazing. Thank you for the super chats. Be awesome, and we will see you in a couple weeks when I do a live stream of our Forgotten Realms book club. And I think what I'm going to do is get a couple of my patrons in who also read the book in the call with me, and we can all like audio talk to each other so that it's not just Jordan talking about a book. But take care. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate you. You have 100% lifted my spirits this evening, so I want to say thank you. And I will catch you guys later. Yeah. Jordan out.